Hello everybody, Chris here, and in this video I want to show you guys my Calendar Time 2.0 plugin for Godot 4.5 and up. So in this demo scene, we have a time dial on the top right, which makes it really obvious that the calendar time speed is moving faster than the game speed. So one of the things you can do with these clocks that are dependent on the Godot time speed but scale separately is, of course, you can have the events trigger a lot faster or slower than the delta time itself. So if you want a crop to grow based on, let's say, the number of days or hours that have passed in terms of that game clock, you can do so. So already since the start of the demo, you can see it transitioned from its sapling stage to a mid stage and a mature stage, and then starts having harvestable crops. So farming would be a really obvious example for the plugin. If you scale up the engine time scale, that scales everything in the game. This is just the built-in Godot time scaling. But if you want to scale the clock specifically, then another multiplier on that would be the clock speed. And of course, you can configure that to whatever you want. I think in most cases, you would set it once for your game, and then you wouldn't change it with a slider. So that's more of a demo thing. We can see that when night falls, we can trigger things like lights to go on and off depending on time of day. So I have these jumping buttons, so I can jump to dawn, and that'll pause it right there. If I jump to dusk, you see the lights turn on, and at night they're still on. We go back to noon, they're off. Now, of course, that's pausing the clock speed. We can still see that characters in the scene, or animations, are still going off of the engine time. So stopping the clock does not stop the entire game engine, but you stop the game engine, and that will actually pause everything. So these times of days are resources you can configure. So when the game enters a time of day, it becomes easy to hook into the signals if you want to trigger a game event based on that. So the example here, of course, is when it hits dusk, the lights turn on. But also, if I go really slow here, let's increase the calendar clock speed. You can see that we also have transitions in the demo where the light fades in once dawn hits as well. So as for the calendar, we can hit C to pop this open. We have event days as something you can configure per specific days during the year. So you configure this by the day within a month. Here we have a spring, summer, autumn, winter seasons calendar instead of the traditional January through December. But of course you can do either. And if you need specific events to occur during your game, then when the day changes, you can also hook into the fact that it would be a specific event day and then trigger game events based off of that, or just for the day changing in general. Those are all signals that are contained. And let's jump into the 3D demo as well, so we can see an example of how you can tie lighting into the clock time. So in this demo with the lighting rig, the lights are going to move depending on what the time of day is. If I stop the calendar clock speed, then the lights stop moving as well, since they are basically responding on ticks to whatever the time of day is, and then calculating the light position based on that. Eventually the sun sets, you don't see the sun anymore. And here we have another example of the lantern idea, where it only turns on and off at nighttime. So that's the gist of the plugin. It allows you to create one or more clock resources, hook into those clocks. Each one has their own set of signals you can connect to for your own game events. And this out-of-the-box calendar UI that follows the day of the season it is. So if I bump it up to like 60 times here, you can see that it's changing the date over here and showing what date it is up there. And we can jump between different years. So it's really just a template UI. So that's it for my demo video running through the 2.0 version of the plugin. In the following days, I want to have some tutorials out there on how to actually use it and set it up. From a Godot editor perspective, I did do my best to minimize the amount of nodes that have to be in your scenes for everything to work. So most of the logic just handles itself in the background, and you just connect to the signals you need from the clock resource that you want to trigger your events off of. So thanks for watching my demo video. I've been Chris, and I will see you guys in my future video content.